This is lesson 2.2, solving distributive property equations. We are going to go over the warm-ups. So go ahead and pause the video, do the 4 warm-ups, and then check your answers. Okay, the purpose of the warm-up is to see if you understand what's going on. You've probably heard me say that in class many times by now. So when I go through, I am not going to do a lot of explanation about the steps I'm using. I will still show the steps. Okay? However, I'm not going to do a lot of explanation because this is where you need to go, oh, I did not get that. I don't know what I did wrong. I got to go in and get help. Okay? Let's put a plus sign here. Okay, for number 3, you have to reduce your fraction. So 39 over 12 reduces to 13 over 4. If you didn't reduce it, it is wrong. Okay, let's move on to the lesson. This is distributive property, and then we're solving. So really, I'm not teaching you anything today. Distributive property is a skill that you should have learned coming into 9th grade. It is something we talked about in Unit 1, so you should have learned it in Unit 1. So there's nothing new here. I've already taught you how to combine like terms. I've already taught you how to solve multiple step equations. So there's no new teaching here. Basically, I should just say, you know how to do this, go. I understand that that's not how it works all the time, so we will review this. This is the important part. If you don't get this, you have got to come in to get one-on-one help, okay? So, as we said before, there's no sign between my 5 and my numbers inside my parentheses. That means the 5 is my distributor. That's what I have to multiply to everything inside my parentheses. Okay? Let's look at number 4. 3, positive 3, is my distributor because there's no sign in between that and my parentheses. However, this 2x will not be distributed because there's a sign between the 2x and my parentheses. So I'm looking for the number. It doesn't matter if it's in front or behind. I'm looking for the number that is right next to my parentheses. That is the number I'm going to multiply to everything inside my parentheses. 5 times 2 is 10x. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. Equals 50. Now I solve just like I have already taught you how. I have to get the x by itself. In order to do that, I have to get rid of the constant. That's the number by itself. It's a negative 20, so I add 20. 10x equals 70. I divide both sides by 10. X equals 7 is my answer. So what that means is, if I come back up here to the original problem, 5 times the quantity of 2 empty parentheses, because I'm going to substitute for my letter, minus 4 equals 50. What does x equal? Well, I know now that x equals 7, so I put a 7 here. So now I simplify inside my parentheses. 5 times 2 times 7 is 14. 14 minus 4 is 10 equals 50. Does 5 times 10 equal 50? Yep. Because this equation equals itself, that means I solved it right. That's the important part of this. And now I said this in class, but I might not have said it in the videos. Because of this equal sign here, these two halves, A and B, they equal each other. So what that means is I can move any number from one side to the other by doing the opposite. Here's an example of that. Does 4 plus 6 equal 10? Yes, it does. But let's say I didn't like the 6 on this side. I wanted it over here. Well, how do I move it? I do the opposite. If I subtract 6, that makes it go away over here. So I subtract 6 over here. Does 10 minus 6 equal 4? Yes. This is not some mystical, magical thing we're doing to move numbers. It works mathematically. That's why we're able to do it. Okay, so no sign between the 4 and the parentheses. That's my distributor. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times positive 5 is positive 20 equals negative 12. 4x equals negative 32. X equals, how many times does 4 go into 32? That is correct, 8 times. It's negative, so your answer is negative. Okay. Notice how I didn't get into the details of these steps here. That's because you're going to have to start understanding this concept. Okay? Let's go ahead and look at number 4. Pause the video, do number 4, and then start the video, see if you got the right answer. Okay, as you can see, I got x equals 4. If you did not get that, pause the video, see if you can find your mistake. This is trying to get you a deeper understanding of what we're doing. If you can't find your mistake, if you still don't understand what I've done, please come and see me. Okay, now let's go down to number 7. Number 7 has a fraction as my distributor. There's no sign between my fraction and everything inside, so I can distribute my 1/2, but I don't know about you, I would rather not work with fractions. So I'm going to get rid of this fraction. How do I get rid of a fraction? I'm going to multiply both sides by the bottom number of my fraction. So the 2 cancels, leaving me 1 times x plus 3 equals 20. Now, I have to let you know that one of the biggest mistakes that students make, they cancel out the 2 here, they do not multiply to this side, they get the wrong answer. The 2 has to be multiplied to both sides. They want to take a shortcut. So they go, oh, I'll just cross the 2 out. They don't take the time to write it down. Whatever I do to this side, I have to do to this side because both sides equal. So if I add 10 to this side, I have to add it to this side. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. That is the most important thing to remember. So then I distribute my 1. 1x plus 3 equals 20. I subtract 3 to both sides because that's my constant, my number that's by itself. 1x equals 17. Now, can I divide both sides by 1? Yes. If I divide both sides by 1, is that going to change my answer? No. 17 over 1 is 17. Okay, you should be able to do number 8. Let's look at number 9. You should also be able to do number 10. Number 9. This is the lazy mathematician. They put a negative sign here, but what has to be behind that negative sign? Negative 1. If you remember back when we were doing matrices, I told you anytime you have a negative sign in front of the matrix or in front of parentheses, it changes the sign of everything in here. So I have to distribute my negative 1. Negative 1 times 4, negative 1 times 2x. Sometimes students think that my distributor is this 3x right here. Why is 3x not the distributor? That's correct. There is a sign between the 3x and the parentheses. That tells me the 3x cannot be the distributor. Okay? So, I have my negative 1 here. I have to distribute it, so I get 3x. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. This negative sign did not just come down because negative 1 times positive 4 is negative 4. Negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. This positive sign doesn't come down because the 2 changes to negative. Equals 12. Combine like terms, 3x minus 2x is 1x minus 4 equals 12. That's my constant, my loner, my number without anything else with it. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. Negative 4 and 4 cancel. 1x equals 16. I can divide by 1 if I want to, but 16 over 1 is 16. It's the same thing. This one you do just like we showed you with the fractions. Okay, let's look at number 12. Now, please pay attention. I've told you the first thing you do with a fraction is multiply both sides by the bottom number of the fraction. However, if you have a constant, a number all by itself, you have to move that first before you can get rid of your fraction. I have a constant. That means I have to add 6 to both sides first. So, 1/2 times x plus 8 equals 8. Now, I can go ahead and multiply both sides by the bottom number of my fraction. These 2's cancel out. 1 times x plus 8 equals 16. Distribute the 1. 1x plus 8 equals 16. I'm going to subtract 8. So I get 1x equals 8. I can divide by 1 if I want to, but there's no reason to. That's my answer. Okay? Number 12, you should be able to do on your own. Okay, that is it for this lesson. If you have any questions, please feel free to see me. Thank you. Have a nice day.